Time to go over the last monthly charts of the year. I'm very excited to do this, and most months I remember, and the ones I don't, you guys should scold me, because I think this is a really important video that I do, and a really important exercise for traders is to go through, take a second, and just go through the charts, the monthly charts at the end of every month. Now I'm cheating a little bit because it's noon on New Year's Eve, so I want to make sure that I take a look at them a little bit cheaty. So if something huge happens near the end of the day, it would have to be a multi-percentage gain to change what I'm going to say here. But it's a good thing to do, because we spend a lot of time, if we go to the SPY, we spend a lot of time hanging out in this time frame and looking, oh, okay, what's happened this day and that day and this week. And when you just switch that to a monthly chart, it just smooths everything out, and it gives you a really good kind of understanding of what's happened. So this is what we're going to do today, is we're just going to go through a handful of these charts that I've looked at and I've picked out, and just show kind of what's happening in the overall indices and some major sectors on this monthly chart and with this monthly candle. And right here, the SPY kind of tells most of the story that we need to know, is that we made this high in October, and then November, we did really nothing. And then here in December, we've done pretty much nothing as well. And this candle is actually a spinning top, which just means we have pretty decent sized upper shadow, a pretty decent sized lower shadow, and then the body is really small. And that just shows we went up a bit, we went down a bit, and then we closed right where we opened. Nothing really too much happened. And I think that's overall a good thing. If you have a trend that's positive and you have a 3-month or so rest in that trend, and then it could lead up for some continuation, right? Here's a trend that's positive. There's a 3-month rest in the trend, another continuation. There's a couple-month rest and another continuation. So not necessarily obviously means that we have to go higher, but there's nothing bearish to me about a strong push up and then just time going by to digest that push up. RSP, which is the equal weighted version. So this is the average large cap stock, as opposed to looking at the really big cap tech guys out there. We broke out this high, the 2024 high, just a couple months ago, and have been resting here as well. Small caps, IWM, same story, right across the board, right? This is the theme. Same with the Qs. We're in a hold period. We're in a resting time, right? Even things like healthcare, which is to me one of the most interesting sectors. We had a big push up against these prior highs, and then we've had this consolidation bar. So maybe we're going to enter more consolidation there in healthcare. Finance had a great month. This is probably the strongest that I saw. This is your large banks, institutions broke out. They had a 5-month consolidation and just broke out of that last month. So that could be an overall bullish or interesting sign there as well. Really, that's, I could go through hundreds of charts, but a lot of them will say a lot of the same. The only thing that's a little bit of a standout here to me is Bitcoin, with a consolidation month after a bit of a pullback. So we've had that pullback, and then we've had this consolidation happening in here on the Bitcoin side of things. But really, December was a rest month. And generally speaking, with rest months, you want to see, or rest periods, you want to see continuation into what is an overall and has been determined to be strong trend. So that's what I'm going to be watching for in the new year. And, I wish you all a happy new year, and obviously more content from there. A little bit under the weather now, but when I recover, I'm sure I'll feel great, and we'll be building way more cool stuff over at StatsEdgeTrading. For StatsEdge Pro members seeing this, you will get your new monthly portfolio holding soon, where we have just investment strategies that just rotate into what the strongest names are. I'll be running those during the holiday off and gathering all that data and giving us the portfolio for next month. If you're not a StatsEdge Pro member, it's a good time to sign up, because you'll get access to the first day of what is going to be the new monthly portfolio holdings. We had a lot of Tesla, which cracked a new all-time high briefly this month. Names like that, these are generally bigger and more influential names, because we're holding them for periods of time. We split our portfolio out into a bunch of different names, and then we just kind of rotate that monthly. So that'll be coming out soon for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned to your email. And if you're not signed up for StatsEdge Pro or the email watch list, make sure you go up to StatsEdgeTrading.com and have a happy and safe New Year's.